Good morning. Happy Friday. On Fridays, I'm going to try to, I'm still developing this channel. Things in life just don't happen. And it takes time. It takes time to develop things. Certainly, this channel has got a lot to grow in, but I am thankful that I have been growing it. So Fridays, I want to focus on the children. And I remember back when Bob first passed, Sophie was just getting ready to be 15. Olivia was 17. And so as teenagers, man, that's a lot to endure. I know what it was like to be enduring it at 51. And I can't imagine what that was like for them, actually, to have lost their dad as a teenager. And we all know that teenagers are at that stage in life where they really don't want extra attention drawn to themselves. They want to fit in with everyone else. Well, nothing makes you stand out more than when you are now a teenager without a dad. More on that in weeks to come. But today's focus, I did mention last week, I think, of how Olivia found some therapy for herself in making some very pretty quilts out of some of Bob's shirts. And that was, I just owe so much gratitude to some of the ladies at our church at the time for investing in her and spending those Wednesday nights teaching her, working with her, showing her how to turn Bob's shirts into a quilt. So this one is the one she made for me. So I'll show you, Bob was a Cleveland Browns fan. He worked at Midpoint Library in Middletown, Ohio. So this was one of the kids, or the summer library themes one year. Of course, one of his work shirts, another Cleveland Browns. All of the quilt squares have such memories. He was generally in one of these shirts. However, he loved clothes, as I mentioned earlier this week, and there was plenty of shirts to also make a quilt for Sophie and a quilt for Olivia. One is done in greens and one in blue, because while his pro team was Cleveland Browns, his college team was Michigan. So, and I can't tell you what a treasure this is. And you guys, after 4 years, it's still really hard sometimes. And that just hits you. But this is a treasure. And even though at the time, as I said, fear feels like, you're a cat. You've been thrown up in the air and you're just like, you don't know how all this is going to shake down, how this is going to work out. Your entire life is different. So I probably would have been more apt to stay frozen in time, just my nature, and not touch his shirts for a while. But because of my love for Olivia, and I knew it was going to be helpful for her, I just immediately started letting her get into his shirts and take what she needed and do whatever she needed to do. So the outcome from that is something beautiful that I can wrap myself up on the couch and just remember him. So if you belong to a church, or maybe your church already has something like that in place, I would encourage you to start something like that in your church. That in and of itself is a ministry. And if you know how to sew, if you know just even this skill, that is such a gift and a ministry to the younger generation. And I encourage you to get something like that started at your place of worship, wherever you are. So that is my gift for you today. Have a great week.